Here's what you should be able to do in the first 10 years on acoustic guitar. By the first month, you should be able to play simple songs that use just 2 or 3 chords, or use simple notes on the fretboard. You should absolutely go easy on yourself because it's going to be pretty difficult to do chord changes. So you might use simple cheats, like going from G to this C instead of the regular C because of its difficulty. And when you play a song with single notes, it's probably going to be common for you to not use all of your fingers in the right way, but you should watch to make sure that you're using the right technique. Because by the end of the first year, you should have all of these kinks ironed out. With so much information at your disposal, you can probably learn a lot of different topics within your first year. Actually applying them is a different thing. By this point, you'll want to be able to play through multiple songs all the way to the end. I do think first-timers have a bad habit of just playing parts of songs but not finishing them. So if you're learning a song like Hurt by Johnny Cash, try to make sure to learn all of the sections of the song and see if you can play it all the way through with the track at speed. And of course, by now you'll be exploring all of your options, all the different ways there are to play the guitar, like fingerstyle, or learning your scales so that you can play lead guitar. All of that is going to feel a lot more natural after 3 years on the guitar. Because depending on what you've studied and how you're playing, you'll either have a great technical ability on the guitar, or you'll have a great knowledge of theory, what chords go together and why. But I want you to look at what your weaknesses are. If you can tell me what a 2-5-1 is in the key of B, but you can't actually play all of your 7th chords on the guitar, you should probably dig into more of the physical technical ability. And the same thing vice versa. If you can technically play a lot of impressive stuff, but you struggle to know what it is you're actually playing, you should probably look a little bit more into music theory. Because in 5 years, you're going to feel like a veteran. Some days you're going to feel like you can tackle anything, because at this point you probably learned a lot of difficult songs. You'll notice how wide the gap is between what you were in the first year and where you are now in the 5th year. But at the same time, there's a feeling that there's some level that you'll never be able to achieve. I think it can be difficult looking at how long you've played the guitar, but then realizing that you're not Tommy Emmanuel and you might not be able to play some of his more difficult songs. What I want you to understand is that the valley between where you were at the 1st year and the 5th year is the same thing from the 5-year to the 10-year mark. If you just keep going, you'll be able to play stuff that you thought you would never be able to do. So if you find yourself sitting in this range, don't stop now. I think you've reached a point where you can comfortably play guitar at this level for the rest of your life and not be worried. But if your goal is to continually improve, don't stop studying the things that made it easier for you. Maybe look into things like harp harmonics, or some more exotic scales that you can use to improvise. And of course, if there's anything that you feel weak on, rhythm, melody, harmony, tighten it up and keep practicing. Because after a decade of guitar, you should be able to do the most difficult thing: teach the concepts that you've learned. You might have a natural knack or ability, and you may have been able to do this even within your 1st year on the guitar. But the ability to concisely explain all of the concepts that you're learning shows a mastery over them. You can clearly explain what diatonic harmony is, or modal harmony, how to find chord inversions and what the purpose of them are, or even just give great technical tips that'll take somebody and advance them farther. Then it's clear that you have a great understanding of your own instrument. And the more difficult the topic is, the more this applies.